Nonsense. God. Sports Talk Show this morning, apparently. Now we're merging our Girl Power Tuesday with a chat with a lady who is full of girl power. Her name is Karen Madden, and she is a sports anchor and sports reporter here at the RGR Gleaner Communications Group. We're talking women in sports. Hello, lady.
Hi, it's so good to be here with you guys.
It's good to have you, Madden, on the set. You never started out here. This is not where you started. Let's start out with your first foray into media.
I actually joined the RGR group, as it was then, as an admin assistant. And I started in engineering, actually. That was my first job with Earl Wilkinson, who was chief engineer. And then I left, and then I came back as admin assistant in the news center. Fate, I think.
I know.
And then when Moya Thomas was head of news, I said to her, I'm getting bored at the admin desk. I am closing my eyes and it's not challenging me anymore. That was about 04, thereabout. And I started my degree at the same time, and I said, I want to switch. And she said, okay, go for it.
Nice.
And so I spent some years in news, and then I spent a year in the programming department, and then this is my 4th year now in sports.
Loving it?
I'm absolutely loving it.
I cannot stand
I keep telling people it's a con. Don't.
When you
I hope Mr. Allen is not listening, but it's a serious con to do what you love and be paid for it.
Yeah. What is
we could have get paid more still, you know, don't get me wrong.
That's another thing you find out about my
That's the cry of the
Just put it out there. But I absolutely love my job.
Yeah. All right, so Karen, you're here to talk about some of the things that they say are stereotypes, myths about women. One of the first misconceptions is that no one watches women's sports.
That's a serious misconception. Obviously, people watch women's sport. Are less people or fewer people watching women's sport? Yes. But I think as women become more and more successful at what they do, then you have converts. I mean, I was at the National Stadium, for instance, on Friday, watching the Reggae Girls training. And I was very, very pleased with the amount of sponsors rep that were there. And coming from a place where the women's program had to be abandoned a few years ago. So I think as women do better at what we do, then you have the support and more people watch.
But there are people who use that very example to say the support is still not there.
It's not. It's really not. It's not. That's true. You know, it's really not. Sometimes people... women's sports not sexy, right? So, for instance, the former FIFA president said famously that he thought that women should dress in shorter shorts to play football. So, yeah. And when it comes from that place, no, that's a problem.
Somebody
you know?
said that?
The former president.
Well, there are sports that, I mean, there's a kind of football that they play in the U.S., you know, where they are in...
Very short shots.
Swimsuit. Yeah. And down. And that's very popular. So that's a challenge.
So there's a place for that.
Yeah, but they also say women's sports are watched mostly by women.
I don't know if that is true either. I think sports fans watch sports. And I think, as I said, I think when you become more competent at it, because one of the problems or the complaints I've heard from sports fans, for instance, we say, why them not watch women's football? Them say the woman them can't play. So there's a higher level of play or higher standard of play in the men. But I think there's a reason for that. I think little girls, for instance, in the U.S., where the women's football is bigger than the men's. I mean, the women's football, the women's team in America, they are World Cup champions back to back, right? Yeah. So, but that's because they are playing. Exactly, and those girls are playing football from a very young age. So you have little girls, some of them 3, 4, they're learning football. By the time they're 8, they're very competent with ball control and so on. In Jamaica, it's boys who you see on the corner kicking a box until they evolve to a ball and so on. Little girls are told, come inside. When you listen to Khadijah Bunny Shaw, for instance.
Yes, she did tell that story.
She speaks, exactly.
She had to play on the boys' team after school.
Exactly. And she speaks about the kind of support that she got from her parents, who at first were saying, no, I don't know about the football. But then after a while, they said, okay, you clearly love it and you're clearly good at it.
Competent
at it. And her brother taught her the rudiments.
She played with the boys.
Because came from it. Those are the girls who will do better at it, that start
naturally
playing.
to them.
And also exposure to it at a particular level. You must get better at that level.
We have some other points on here, but I want
Yes,
to
ma'am.
ask you one before the clock runs out. Are you taken seriously as a female sports anchor? Did you have a hard time gaining legitimacy and for people to respect
I think
you?
people like Dale Harris and Debbie Tyson set the trend, and I think in Jamaica people know that women can do it. But I think, and I've said this to a group of Carmack students recently, that as a woman, you shouldn't kid yourself. You have to prepare more than the men. Because them are going to say you don't know nothing. Them are going to say because you're pretty wide up on the TV. They're going to say that. So you can't afford to come to the table unprepared. The men can fudge it and get away with it, and we have seen that. But you as a woman, you cannot do that. You have to be prepared, because the first foolishness that come out of your mouth, them going to say is because you're a woman. I know what she know about football. People
and they will test you.
They will. They will.
Test you.
And people are going to assume that because you're female, you really don't know nothing.
So when you fire off the facts and things, them say, my girl, so you had that same experience there?
What?
Just, I don't know.
Exactly,
yeah.
So you have to come to the table ready for them, man.
Oh, yeah. They had problems with everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, some people felt I shouldn't
What she had to do
let
there?
down me here when me reading.
Precisely.
Because it's
distracting.
Them, I mustn't wear lipstick because me I read sports and me I doing that lipstick.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, man.
That's
So
Is you right? The sports, them are people give for read. And every time, and it's the same shock every time. You host World Cup football or you host a cricket test match, and people say, "I never know say you know football. Never know say you know cricket, say you."
Those
more
challenges
things
are
change,
still
the more
there.
they
Yeah.
say.
Some things have changed, and I mean, I have to give credit to people like Patrick Anderson, who, say, maybe you can do this, you can do this. But not a lot has changed in terms of the public perception that you don't know. So that's why I say,
you have to have a strong personality.
yes, man. You can't be all up in your feelings.
Yeah.
You don't have no time for that, because then you're going to be perpetually up in your feelings. And worse, now there's social media. You know what I mean? So you just have to just cut and go through.
There are two interesting questions here. One, reasons for more women to become sports journalists or sports anchors.
More women should become sports journalists. I think women, especially people who have competed, because usually people who have competed, they get legitimacy. Yes, they are authentic. People see them as being authoritative on the subjects and so on. But it's daunting, Delia. It's daunting for women.
So let's get into reasons for women to stay away.
You stay away if you don't want to live your dreams. That's my view. If you don't want to live your dreams, then you stay away. But if this is your dream, absolutely go for it.
Right.
Absolutely go. Absolutely prepare. Absolutely read everything. Absolutely be up with everything. Ask questions. Ask questions. Learn from the people who have been there. Sam Allen in the department is a reservoir of knowledge. You're miserable like what? But you have to move past that and move past that quickly.
But it's a demanding job.
It is.
You're not going to get any favors.
There.
So if you're going to go cover things at a football, well, now it's improved. There are actually restrooms and things like that.
Oh, wow.
But if
Wow. If you just know about sports, you have to help on your English and your
but the rough part of it is the hours and the traveling in the vehicle and rough it out. Like the man them there, you ain't gonna get no favors. Rough it out.
They're not gonna say, oh, because you're a girl. I mean, obviously,
I'm
not gonna
lie.
No, I don't want that. I don't want a preferential treatment. By the way, I never got it in news. I didn't want it, and I don't want it now. I want to be treated as a reporter. This may I do.
Yes.
But obviously, I mean, I work with some really great guys, so they're going to take care of you if they are with you. But most of the time, you're not going to an assignment with anybody else.
And they don't treat you differently when you're overseas.
Exactly.
Mexico, almost 70% of the sports journalists are women.
Wow.
That's good.
That's an interesting.
That's awesome.
Manu, where did your love for sports start before
From
we go?
high school. I like to tell the story that when I was at St. Andrew High, the teachers thought I was on the track team. I was not.
You lied?
No, but never lie. They inferred that I was on the track team.
And you just didn't bother to
because
correct
I'm
them.
always around track girls. So them, when champs come, them just mark my name and think me gonna champs. I can say that story now because them can't do me nothing. They mark my name, me gonna champs. Yeah, then me never tell them something up on the track. They assumed I was. So me I work with it.
Well, you are a supporter, so I kind of made you.
I was holding the girls their back.
Cheerleading.
Yes,
Yeah.
I needed motivation.
That's important.
Absolutely.
So you were on the
A
track
vital
team,
part.
Karen.
There you go.
were. You were.
Just,
It's awesome. Girl, keep growing. Strength to strength. Wish you all the best.
Oh, before I go, I need to
Yes.
say happy birthday to my mama.
Today?
It's mama's birthday today,
nice.
Ivy Gordon. Happy birthday, mama. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you.
Okay, baby. And we love you and are proud of you. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you,
We know your
ladies.
back is very broad,
Yeah.
so you're good to go.
No weakness.
Yeah, strength.
Strength, no weakness.
All right, so she's headed back to the newsroom, and we are too. Raquel, I'm not sure she have any sports prowess into her blood, but she does have the news.
Roxy?
I
don't
think
think
Raquel
so.
can play nothing.
Not even Jax?
Fiegel,
Not even
Ricardo,
Jax?
maybe.
Dots?